But the truth is, I'm tired. You can play that song, right? Truth is, I'm tired. There's too much.
Fire, 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 fire.
Good night again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Trifactor podcast, where we bring you players, past, present, and future from Trinidad and Tobago, who talk about how they developed through the years. I drop some gems on becoming pro, drop gems on mentality, leadership, all these things, so that younger players coming through could learn from it. Tonight is just the Trifactor crew. We're going to go through some topics. Football season ain't done, and it's going to start again.
How much days it is? Like 8 days away?
13. Either 12 or 13 days away. 13 could be, most likely.
13, so they said 10 days.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with Olympics. Simone Biles, she decided not to compete in certain events. She faced real backlash. Some people were real supporter. I think, Andrew, you was on the side, on the support side. I was not. Why you think you supported her so quickly?
For me, it's not even a hard position. Huh?
It's not even a thought.
It's not even a topic that's hard to. You got to put much thought to, right? It's as simple as I see it as a reflection of the time that we're living in.
Right.
We live in a time of people real binary. It have no nuance. There's no dog. Stop batting for your side. The new term for it is dunking on people. So everybody want to dunk on everybody now with the points that they want to make.
Never heard that.
So everybody want to say, oh, look, they woke people on them. Now they can't even handle competition. Dunk on you, right? And it's just like, let me calm down for a second.
Hey, dunking is fun. They ever see LeBron do it though? Sorry, go ahead.
If a man telling you, if a man or woman, child, if I'm not a child, but if a man or woman telling you in work, all right, I am clearly seeing stars while I'm trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm losing senses. I'm losing my senses. I am liable to do, not just do the wrong thing, send a bad email or something, right? I'm liable to miss some steps and fall down a flight of stairs or drive in a forklift, or liable to just run off and kill somebody, whatever.
Yeah.
If somebody telling you that, how is it debatable whether or not they must show up? They had to still be there, and dog. Because it's the realm of athletics, and the worst argument is when they start talking about how much they get paid. Dog, it doesn't matter how much somebody gets paid. It doesn't matter what the field of work is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you have no control of your faculties to perform a task, you should not be doing that task.
Right, correct.
Kudos to her despite being in these times of people being ridiculously polarized and want to make everything a political statement, right? And want to dunk on everybody. Kudos to her for saying, dog, I fear that if I go and do my triple, quadruple, somersault, whatever, I might fling out and bust my neck. I might spin out 4 times and bust my neck, break my back, done for life, dead. Firebomb, everything all you're going to say and judge, it is what it is. Now, I say this time is very polarized and stuff like that, but then the positive is this time is also, this is one of the best times to be alive as a person in the public eye and choosing to speak up for something. Right. Because the precedent is there and a lot of people are choosing to do it, so it's actually pretty good. So no lie, a lot of credit needs to go to Kaepernick. How much ever years ago that was.
Yeah.
Because he kind of set a tone there for, and I mean, he's not the first, there was Muhammad Ali and stuff like that before that, right? But he kind of set a tone for, in the new school, what that could look like. And dog, you're gonna get support from people on, even if you get blacklisted in the profession, you're gonna get support from people who realize, dog, no, this man is just he's standing on principle. It's just unfortunately the bad side, like I mentioned before, is all right. Everybody want to dunk, right? So, anything you say, look, imagine how have people found another spin for Simone. Like, let me hear the other side.
But the other side is definitely I don't want to do it. Mental health. No, this is me, my ignorance. When you see the term mental health, I thought you was seeing some anxiety, or was it something else, some other mental health issue? Did not do any research with knowing that it sounds like close to something like vertigo. You can't control the room spinning. You don't know what's going on now, boy. That song, that was that. Bro, I don't think any normal person would feel okay experiencing that, not to mention having to do wildly acrobatic things.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I think the way when you read headlines, it becomes difficult to actually to see what she's going through now. Now, if I see mental health, I'm gonna be like, you're scared. You win 24 gold medals. What? Because she said what? Now this is song by excited. She was shaking when she was getting ready to do what she had to do. Now nowhere in this I heard room. She couldn't control herself now, which is completely different to feeling anxious. Yeah, and I was like, she's the leader. You set the tone for the guys coming after you, but anytime it comes to self-preservation or keeping it real, too real, where it could go wrong, or anything like that, also, or being too macho as a young lady, definitely would hope that good sense prevail. And yeah, I guess it did. Yeah.
No, think about like all the things you just say. Yeah. Think about the words that have now taken on different meanings, right? Yeah. How is mental health something that could be spun into meaning? So
weak, dog, weak.
Yeah, how could I be spun into weak, or you're just you're a little nervous? Even anxious and anxiety.
Andre, you remove too much from Trinidad, or see, that sliding. Listen to me, and there's no knock on her.
Yeah,
I can't say them things though.
No, but all right. So somebody talking about having a mental health episode.
Yeah,
that shouldn't trigger for you something about like weakness or something. That's like
Andre.
What's going on with
nah,
you?
Andre, I can't say that, and just so
you see, the thing is, mental health is not necessarily something that you could say definitively that somebody in EMS will say PTA playing your ass.
Exactly.
Right? You can't tell a man how he feeling.
Right.
You understand? He could tell him, boy, I not feeling it today, and you genuinely can't fight him, right? Yeah. But in the back of your mind, you'll be like, come on, don't your mama guy. Right?
So that's
that's the response that most people was given, right? Yeah, truly. Right?
So the other than dunking on, the other thing people will be saying these days is everything is a HIPAA violation. You already know what that is?
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, I know HIPAA. Yeah. But right, I don't know what it means in terms of this.
So people always say it's a HIPAA violation. Actually people use any joke so much it gets stale now.
Okay. You can't talk about somebody medical history and medical control
right
about it. So you have to approach it at a degree of privacy, which is why you give a broad term like I don't take a mental health day.
I don't take a mental health day.
Yeah,
because people just fighting them now. They don't really can't stress the face.
On that point, like I was saying, Andre, you really move from Trinidad. The stigma attached to taking something for mental health, while Trinis maybe might be the worst of that, where We real slack now. To be
Trinidad
like,
might be the worst with it, but I don't think it's something that's exclusive to Trinidad and Tobago.
no,
Because
that's not what I mean. No. What I mean is, if you might give us the leeway of taking mental health days, we might just use it to when
Take every day.
if place not open to go miraculous now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay. I don't know.
I mean, sure, but go ahead, Zwade.
well, as I was saying, you can't definitively measure a
Tell our man
symptom
if he
to
good.
say, yeah, mentally, right? He is the expert to tell you, well, hey, this is your situation here, this is my situation here. Are you able or are you not? If I call into work and say I'm not able to work today, and then some video going viral with me on Maracas Beach and thing, doing whatever. And I could say, well, boy, I was just under stress. Some people was going out bar and drink rum. Some people was going
do all kind of things. Yeah.
Some
Right?
people just go beach. Yeah.
Yeah, I went beach. You understand? Somebody go watch me like, come on, dog, your mama guy in there. Right? At the end of the day, you don't know, firstly, what somebody might be going through definitively, and secondly, how long they might be carrying it. Right? And a simple perspective, and it caused me some degree of pause. Phil Jones has been injured for basically the entire season last season. Right? No,
Zwade.
listen.
All right. Go ahead, bro.
I'm putting it on record here, right? In the past, I have been especially harsh on Phil Jones, right?
Right.
Compared to some of the comments and things I've seen on that, I have just been, I haven't been as bad as some people, right?
Right.
But the man, his contract was up for renewal. I was asking him if he wanted a testimonial or what, because he qualified fit based on the amount of games. He said, nah, because only 6 people might come, and that's my family, right? He was solo mentally, right? And it got me thinking in the sense that, all right, I mean, I might disagree with some of his methods as a player, yes.
His methods.
Yeah, his methods.
Don't play now, boy.
No, I'm trying to be very circumspect with what I'm saying it because it's easy to go from, boy, Phil Jones is a waste of time, right? My personal issue with Phil Jones is generally how he has put himself into some questionable situations that you wouldn't expect about a defender that is, right?
Get past that part, please, man.
Right. So what I'm saying is, but I start to reflect on it like mentally being under that pressure, because a major way in how you play is your confidence.
Yeah, for sure. Confidence is everything else. I don't care what anybody says.
Right? So imagine you just being, existing, and somebody behind a screen looking behind your Instagram page will take, anything you punks on. The pressure might be gradually building, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I started to think about it. As I said, and I mean my issues with Phil Jones is based on Phil Jones, the player.
Get past that part, please.
No, I'm telling you, right?
You prefaced that about 4 times already.
No.
Make your point.
Because I put it across, like, I don't know how many football fans or anybody might think about it, like, dog, I'm keeping my discussion to him as a person, like as a footballer.
But that should be the norm. That shouldn't have a preface, though.
No, but here what I'm saying that, right? Look at how the relationship between the fans and Xhaka deteriorated.
Right?
Yeah. I sure remember that time when I was trying to say no, being real wicked.
I take that a handful of salt.
No,
and I was genuine sauce.
You see what I mean?
Let me make this point.
Hold on. Say, let him man finish this point now. You're dragging this point though.
It was around that time.
It was around that time, and I was reading that thing on with Phil Jones and thing, right? And that's when I started to be almost circumspect.
Right.
Now, at the end of the day, if you think about it. If you're doing our job,
Yes.
and every person that you come into contact with
Yes.
fighting you down on that job,
Right.
and the bigger part about it is they can't really even do your job.
Of
That's
course.
how that be doing it, right?
Of course.
It's not a positive place to be in.
That's
It's
life.
it difficult. No, you see, and by saying that is life,
Yeah, but go ahead.
dismisses it, right? Right?
No.
Don't let this worst man distract you from your point, please. Finish the point.
Right?
Finish
So
strong.
my point is, right? It's easy to cop out and say dismiss it, like by saying that is
Take
life,
some notes.
that's your job, you're getting paid so much, your thing, right? And we need to strike the balance between being empathetic or at least sympathetic, because we may not be able to empathize with that degree of pressure, and yet still holding them, I don't want to say accountable, but having reasonable expectations of them, right? It's a fine balance to strike, because again, you can't tell a man how he is really mentally, right?
You back
A
here
man,
again.
no, I'm being real, and that is where the foundation it is. A man he could be playing, he could be saying, yeah, boy, I real good, but he really depressed.
Yeah, for sure.
He might even want to say nothing because he might open up. Man might say, well,
Most of the times that doesn't make it worse.
yeah, exactly. So he just, it's like going and change nothing, he not saying nothing. Right? Yeah, at the end of the day, the reality situation is, if somebody think, all you could say, all right, all the best, we'll try to find out we are wrong. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the most fair outcome. It then makes sense. Fighting, saying the weak, the this, because look how quick Karma hit Djokovic. Novak Djokovic.
That was funny.
What you do? Wait, what was the camo? What he had say?
The man say
pressure is a privilege.
It's a privilege. Bro.
And he had a complete meltdown.
Yeah. Mash up Simone Biles. 2 days later, the man lost a bronze medal game. Mash up your racket.
I ain't even know that fool say all that. He say all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I find the quote.
Out of bad mind, he should have just relaxed himself, dog.
Yeah.
You catch him out there.
The man say pressure is a privilege, my friend. Without pressure, there is no professional sport, which is a reasonable perspective.
Yeah,
if you are aiming to be at the top of the game, you better start learning how to deal with these pressure and cope.
Yeah, but again, look at how this is the problem with the stigma of mental illness, right?
Yeah.
Think about the premise of what he's saying. He is minimizing mental illness episode or whatever into pressure. Dealing with pressure and stress and blind. It's just like, dog, you are minimizing what the actual, like you are mischaracterizing what the situation is. Obviously, you cannot logically be saying to yourself that Simone Biles all of a sudden has too much pressure. The fourth-time Olympic gold.
It's not a matter of dealing with pressure.
It's not a matter of pressure. Pressure's not new.
It's like pharmacology, right? Everything is poisonous in the right dose, right? And when you're at that level for that long, it comes with a different degree of pressure because
it's not even the pressure.
But that's your point.
That's the point. So, you won't be investmental. You have an issue. It's there on you. All right, boy. That's all it is. But you had to fight it off. Right? Yeah, you could deal with it, man. You're good. You deal with it, but the issue still there. Man. It comes like you're holding a glass in your hand with water. No, it don't matter how heavy the glass is, how long you're carrying it. Right?
But it's not even that, so it's not even that.
Yeah, but
like she brought up something
manifesting itself.
She actually took meds. She actually was taking meds for ADHD or something like that.
No, this is what I'm saying. It will start to manifest itself.
It's none of that.
Physically.
But I'm saying to you, none of that matters, right? Because ultimately, I was watching something where somebody was talking about suicide, right? Yeah. Suicide ideation and stuff like that. As human beings, there's two things we like to do that's terrible, right? We like to do things binary. It's either one or two. Is it one, this? And two, we love our story. We love a story that makes it all make sense.
Yeah.
So the The reason why this happened is because blah, put a bow on it and we done. But it's like, dog, no. There are countless examples, and I'll have to think about these countless examples.
There are.
But there's countless examples of people who are used to doing the exact same thing every single day, people who are conditioned on it, people who are the best of the best in the business at it, all this stuff. Okay, on this particular day, the combination of COVID-19 when they was locked up inside for a whole year, something that their mother said yesterday, something that happened on the way to work, they hear on the radio, so whatever. As a human being, we are complex enough to where, no, dog, sometimes in terms of your mental health, okay, you can have a physical reaction. You have a physical manifestation of something that is going on in your brain. That, yes, it was triggered by this one event, but no, it has nothing to do with this one event. It has nothing to do with, it's the pressure of performing. What pressure, dog? She was by far, like she was significantly the favorite. So there, who was the person pressuring her for number one? No one. There's nobody in the audience. There's less people in the stands than ever. There's nobody in the stands. There has been no additional applied pressure on her to say, oh, she needs to win all gold in this one, otherwise her legacy is dead. There was nothing to set up the perfect bull story of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So that people who spin it into about being pressure and ting, for me, it just underlines their total misunderstanding of mental health, total mischaracterization of what it's about. It just shows the immaturity in terms of understanding mental health.
But Andre, in Trinidad for sure, and I don't know where Novak from. I forget where he's from, Serbia. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Serbia.
I forget, right? Mental health means you're mad.
Yeah, sure.
That's in Trinidad.
Yeah.
For now, that's what mental health means. I heard a lady say it, and she's a mental clinician, right? I can't remember if she's a psychiatrist or psychologist. Sure. But that is when you're mad.
Mm. You
can be suffering from anxiety, depression, especially as a, you don't want to be
as a pro,
not sexist statement, but as a big man,
you can't be going through that.
And that's the reality. Yeah?
It's nothing so.
The reality is, though, most people are just one really bad day from being diagnosed as clinically
mad.
You know, yeah.
But then you think about what it means to be mad. You think like there's a scale of madness, right? So you think every madman is just as incapable of having a cogent or coherent conversation? You can have a very coherent conversation with a man right here, and then he turn around and he had that conversation with nobody, and you're like, "Horse, that was a madman." All right, but what is mad? It's just so.
And as you think, it have eccentric. I know a guy that's eccentric. You see him as eccentric, right? But the man don't have different vibes. Right? No, seriously.
Vibrator and then frequency.
No, the man. If I tell you about that man, yes.
Don't tell about it, man.
The man watch me, never talk to me in my life, and pick my career and all kind of thing. Eh? Like hey, you are a doctor finished, but you look like a doctor. You are looking. I was like, all right. And most people are dismissing like, yeah, you are mad, man. Yes. You report all kind of thing. I talk with the man a good few times. The man is a cool one, right? Now, at that time, I went Roxy back in the building and I see him loudly talking and doing something. I don't know if he was rehearsing something or what.
Right.
But somebody in passing, like, see what I mean? I'm madman again, but right? It didn't look usual to me, right? But I'm sure there was a very good reason for him doing what he was doing.
That was a long way to go.
But the long and short of it is the long and short of it is the uproar about something that is so basic. It more underlines. But it's something that's so basic as a concept. It's so basic, but it just underlines how all right, as a species, as humans, we're not there. we not there yet in understanding
But
quite how
I
our
think
how our mind
you
is.
said, I think the first time ever I heard the hardest thing to show is empathy. You say that line?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. It's definitely true with the fingers.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to Zwade point.
Yeah. About Phil Jones?
No, about Jaka.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you can bring in Kevin Durant. And I'm always on the hype train. Down with Jaka, down with Kevin Durant. With Jaka, with when he cuss with the Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, horse. When he leave OKC to go Golden State, horse.
What you do, boy?
He leave OKC to go Golden State.
What wrong with that, man? All right, keep going.
Anyway, horse, a piece of me break with that one, like, horse. I couldn't believe it just, horse. They now beat the 3. Normally, they run it back, horse. Anyway, past that. So he was like, down with Kevin Durant. It's not so many words, right?
Yeah.
From the time it reaches the people outside the courthouse, and then when people turn their trust to the parents and the wife and child, I just jump off the train house. I like, what are you really doing, us?
Yeah, but at what point you think people will say, hey, this is the point that we're going too far? Because if you
have no reason
and this is my point,
to wish death to somebody, people know.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Right? You have issues with the man as a player. Right?
That's on the field for sure.
Right, on the field for sure, right? The man coming off the field, he getting boo, whatever, from your own fans. Right, no scene. The fans really can't do nothing and ventilate their degree and discuss with him.
But
like
they did.
Right, they could do that, but really and truly, what did that do?
They were upset in that time and they showed him.
What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm saying, right? It might be enough for you to say, all right, dog, it's really not that serious, right? It are people who don't have that mental fortitude and maturity
that's
to
not
realize.
Fortitude, horse, that's just common sense.
No, that you see it as common sense, right? You see it as common sense. It's the same way, like with the kind of abuse them fellas get after they miss them penalties.
Yeah.
Rashford, Sancho, Saka,
that's the
right?
same way. It don't make sense.
And this is my point. It does not make sense to me doing it.
Let me bring up this point because you're saying.
But does that mean
like when some people can't do a job, but they might say they say doctors in Trinidad, right? Hospital full.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even build the hospital or know how much beds it have was. But yet you getting cost from the public, right? True.
Yeah, but more than that, eh?
Just order, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting cost from like you can't do a job, whatever, right? Right? Why would somebody who cussing a doctor say, I wish the doctor family dead us? What sense? What sense that make?
And this is what I'm saying.
Somebody working KFC and get a tie instead of a center breast horse.
Don't put it like this, right?
You get on the rail bad. You go and say, nah, how should one?
In your job,
because you got center breast?
Public you also had to deal with, right?
Me, not. I am not public facing.
Right. You should thank God every day for that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because dealing with the general public is a hell of a work.
That's my point exactly.
Right. So it might seem normal to you. It might seem like an overreaction. It might seem like whatever, right?
It's definitely an overreaction.
Right. It's definitely an overreaction. But in that person's mind, that reaction to them are telling you, them to see it as justified, right? And you seeing it as that you were saying, now, boy, he had to be wrong mentally. Something had to be wrong with him mentally, right? Things like that is what we really should be considering, because we look into past judgment on our player mental health, right?
That's a good point.
Whereas the kind of things we doing,
All right, fair point.
or I say we in quotes like
I
general.
don't we in that, sir. I don't we in that. I'm not talking about.
No. Social media.
Yeah, jump out
people-
of that, Andrew.
Out of that.
Right? The kind of things that we might be putting out online and things
Yeah.
really do make sense though.
Yeah,
Right?
No,
don't
dog,
make sense,
dog.
don't
I
make
ain't gonna lie to you. I look forward to talking to like a clinical psychologist or something. I am sure part of the scale of fandom
Yeah.
involves some diagnosable antisocial behavior. Like you have to have an antisocial something about you to be able to say, but how your mother this? I go find you, I go post your address, we coming for you tomorrow. Dog,
Throw flares on a man house.
No, look how the spectrum is, right? Look how the spectrum is, right? Would you say that is some antisocial behavior that you so concerned about your team winning that you go by in front of the hotel that the opposing team staying in
keep
the
them up
night
all
before and keep them up?
Yeah.
No,
that's
clearly, cause
that's a different level of it. It has to be antisocial behavior. It has to be
Right.
something that could be diagnosed, dog, within you.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
what does it take to do that?
Just now, let me ask you something, right? What's the difference between that and a man embellishing a foul in the name of gamesmanship?
Nah, that's a big difference, though.
No, asking.
All
You're
right.
trying to gain an advantage by unconventional means, right?
no, that's very
Nah.
conventional.
Nah. No,
But
but
what makes it conventional?
no, but one is
It works.
one is there are rules in the game, and you are trying to get a call in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
What part of the game is going 4 o'clock in the morning? Sometimes
Just now,
100 miles from where you live in, though.
Yeah.
wouldn't the
That's the
result
extreme
wouldn't
spectrum.
the result wouldn't the
Extreme side
result
of
of that,
fandom.
the result of that, right? Have an impact on the game?
No, but hold on.
No, asking.
No,
Because
no.
just
No,
just now.
But I'm disagreeing with the
So,
context you're setting up. All right, go ahead.
Like put it then with crowd support, like a wrong like Anfield.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anfield is not easy ground to go and play. Why?
The fans
Okay,
very
you-
raucous and it very
Is this
it have very
rhetorical?
condensed
This is
space, though.
rhetorical? Go ahead.
It is intimidating,
Very
Okay.
right? You could get all forms and manners, abuse thing. They make it hard for you to throw you off your game mentally,
right.
and that will end up having a result, and they're more likely to have a positive result for their team. Eh?
Right.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. At all levels, people will look to gain advantage.
Nah,
Right?
but hold on. Here's what I'm
Listen.
Come on, man. This point going on too
Make
long.
the point,
I
make
get
the
the
point,
point.
Sally, make the point.
This is my point, right?
Yeah, make the point.
We had to be able to understand and set a threshold between being a fan and going too far. Right?
For sure.
And this is where the difficulty is.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm not getting up off my bed to go and distress a man in the night and thing, but I may not be a super fan like some of them.
All
Right?
right. But so let me just all right. So I don't think it's difficult to understand that threshold because you think about all right.
That what you think.
No, but hold on. You
You
think
wouldn't
about
do it.
but you think about the game. No, I think not because I wouldn't do it, but it's like there has to be some kind of realm of what is reasonable human behavior, though, right? So back to your analogy. So within the game, so with on the field within 90 minutes,
Yeah.
you understand the rules of the game. What is a foul? What is contact? What is whatever. So within those rules, you try to bend those rules, right?
Yeah.
A fan, the rules of a fan, okay, you engage as a fan within the stadium, you engage, and then outside of the stadium, you try to engage on social media and things like
Right.
that. There is no part of that rules of that game that involves go find where them men live and go do something to them and their family and all this stuff.
Or poison the food and
But the fact.
Let me be
Hold on,
cynical, though.
Zwade, hold on. the fact that that even enters your mind as being part of
Mhm.
the game means that
Mhm.
you are insane. So think about back to the hold on. Let me finish my pointer. So back to the player example. Back to the player's example, right? What is an analogy for fans showing up at the players' hotel and thing as part of the game would be, let me say, instead of the players trying to con and get a foul, what the players do is get them in center pods. So they put center pods. Hold
You don't remember it on
Wait, Zwade.
on.
I'm going to ask a question, right?
It will be the players going and put center pods in the opposing team water and then coming on the field and stabbing man with a knife. Right? Hit a man and stab him in the belly. No, but I saying, look, you hit him a little choke, right? It's not, dog, that's, you are thinking way outside the realms of the game. This is not even part of the game. What are you even talking about?
This is what I'm saying.
You going and burn down somebody's house? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, boy, that
And
man,
this is what I'm
man,
saying.
boy. Anyway.
Hey, I remember it at a North London derby. Right?
You can't prove it, Hoss. You can't
Right?
prove
You
it.
know what I'm talking about, though?
You can't
Because
prove
they
it.
get magical food
You
poisoning.
can't prove it.
Right? They get magical food poisoning. Right?
Yeah.
No. The thing is, you will say, all right, gamesmanship on the field might exist within the realms of rules, right?
Yeah.
But we also have a society that thinks, okay, if there's no rule against it, then there's no reason I can't do it, right? And that's it. Look, Galatasaray. You ever see when they're lining the road with flares and all kind of madness, right?
Oh, that'll be like hell yes.
I just want to show you.
Yeah, but you comparing that to going to find people's house?
No, what I'm saying is they are just different levels on the same spectrum.
Was it Dortmund boss meant pelt brick or some man?
Yeah.
Boss man face.
Look how extreme it could reach.
That's too far. That's way too far.
And that is clearly very antisocial behavior, though.
And this is what I'm saying.
You're not trying to coexist in a society.
All it takes is one madman.
I didn't even realize what we're talking about no more.
The spectrum of mental health, we move from the player to the fan source. Anyway.
Yeah, but the reality is
you can't conflate mental health with like things like anxiety and stress, and that's like,
it's two different things.
So not anxiety. So you're anxious or you're nervous or whatever.
Right.
That's a very
those are feelings.
You're minimizing what mental health can look like. What a mental health episode could look like, and what talking about mental health is about. It's not you're shy or my hand wet or something like, okay, that might be a symptom, but anyway. But Zwade, to your point on your other side about fans, I don't think that's about mental health.
Let me ask you a question. If a man blow his nose and wipe it on our next player on the field,
we all know he mad us. We know he mad.
That's it. Do that, right?
That's not part of the game. That is
madness. Even with the episode with Rude Holland and them spitting on each other, and that's
the biting, there's biting on a man back. There's men who squeeze man balls like dog. That's not
the man who molested Cavani. That was the worst I ever seen.
That is not regular behavior. That is the behavior of somebody that is.
All right, McGill's. I'll back USA women heavy in
track
in women football.
Football.
That's probably why they just Arsenal the scene.
No, not really.
They surprise everybody.
The stars that the Carly Lloyds and the Mega Pino Wombats done gone. The Solo gone. Have a golden generation coming time. USA Women National Team, as they call it, right?
Yep.
The generation coming through with Roosevelt and I don't even know who else on it.
Do you consider Alex Morgan to be new
Alex
generation
Morgan
or
is,
old?
is in between.
Hmm.
It had the Christian Presses in between, and it had the Lindsay Oran coming through and things. They are good players, but I think it is either the coach or the players that leaving such a big gap that they're not as dominating as the last
That's what you think it is?
20, how much years? They came in the last 5 Olympics, they have won 3 and been in the finals for 2, I think. I think besides this, in Rio, I think they came either 4th or 5th or something. So they've been dominant. I think that's what it is. What do you think it is?
So what about the? I've heard a couple arguments.
Yeah.
So I've heard one that is they holding on to the golden generation too long. They should have let them go.
Yeah.
But then the other I'm hearing is right. Maybe the rest of the world is catching up.
Could be.
All right. So something I've always found interesting is So I mean, no disrespect to all the Americans ever, but the way American sports
World champs.
tends not nobody will chance, but it's just like it tends to be about athleticism.
Yeah.
All right. So the biggest, strongest, fastest athlete, dominate, right? Whatever. And it's just like, well, that's not really what football is about, though.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
so for a long time in the women's game, the professionalism, so not professionalism, but the fact that women's football is a profession,
right,
in America in such a grand scale, in such a grand scale in terms of similar to boys, you just go to college for playing soccer, and then from there get into clubs, and then from there go on the team.
When they don't all make a point about that, go ahead.
Right, but when you compare that to dog, you know how much World Cups you watch.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I am one of those man fans that I only watching World Cup and things like that. I ain't really following. But you watch the World Cup and then you're watching America, full professionals, playing against, random example, playing against China.
Yeah.
When you're listening to the commentator giving the stuff about the Chinese players, oh yeah, she's a part-time worker.
Yeah.
At her thing, and then she's playing football on Sundays, right? So it's just so for a long time they're skating by, and I'm saying skating by, no, again,
they've been dominating. Yeah.
I don't want to minimize though, because these girls, women have obviously been at the top of their class, right? Ultimately. So, but they've been able to, all right, by being the most professional, being the most dominant athlete, they've been able to just obliterate everybody.
Yeah.
Right? All kind of 12-0, 16-0, all kind of scores that's just like, what's going on? All right. But as you start getting more, maybe more women are getting professional, more federations are starting to take football seriously for women. Then it becomes more like the men's game where, all right, athleticism is not the deciding factor anymore.
Yeah.
So now we will start getting into tactics and coaching and stuff like that too. And I think in America in particular, similar to England, the core issue is a lot of the coaches are not very good. So I don't think the coaching is very good, so that they haven't been shown up on inferior coaching. Okay. But once you start balancing out the athleticism, now it becomes about tactics and knowledge of the game. How much do you really understand football and the ways to play it and the concepts and stuff like that? And I think that's where they will start getting showed up.
All right. But to that point, USA football is weird in the fact that below professional level, like girls to college, the women's game probably used to have more involvement and funding. Used to be top rank. Kill or be killed, quote unquote, is a gauntlet though to get through. That's why if you come join next side, you're extremely good.
Yeah.
When it comes to pro in USA, terrible. It's always imploding. NWSL always imploding, always falling over. I don't know why. Well, I know why. Funded. They weren't funding it. The men's
they all have
game,
to go
however,
Europe.
huh?
So the
In
women all have
Europe,
to go
it's a
Europe.
little better. France has always been the standout league. England getting better, and now Spain, because they win with Barca and Real Madrid, real buying people. So it's getting better. But USA Professional Women League, terrible. I don't know. It's real terrible. And the men's has always been to a certain standard, well funded enough to be on TV and have sponsors and things. But below that, I don't think anybody used to really take on.
That's straight up sexism, though.
Yeah, it could be, for sure.
The reason why the men football on TV and thing this whole time, even though the women was dominating the game,
sure,
that was just garbage.
For sure. But yeah, it could be to your point that the world game balance and it could only be good for football. The sad part is that trend are getting left behind.
You think so? Yes, for sure.
Yeah. We think so.
I will not claim to be as knowledgeable on it, but the fact is, the athleticism factor really was a big advantage, and that kind of get negated because the rest of the world, in terms of the science to fitness and all that, they're seeing what needs to be done and they're doing it, right? I have no issue with it in the sense that if it makes some more competition, better competition in long term, why not?
Yeah.
So I'm not going and putting an inquest as to what's going on with the women's national team, US women's national team. They'll figure it out. They'll be on top. They're well resourced. They're probably the best resourced female team in the world, right?
Possibly.
They'll be fine.
They're still asking for more money.
Well, let me not go into that, right? But
we want me money right now.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't want to sound facetious, but
Please.
they probably deliver like the men.
Because
they deliver like the men because the men don't have the pressure of winning. You understand?
Yeah.
The men don't have the pressure to bring home a gold medal.
Yeah.
You understand? Good work, guys. These guys made the semis.
Yeah, for real.
All right, no problem.
The women have to win.
Yeah, the women though have they don't have that freedom, right? So they deliver like the men, so they want to get paid like them, I guess.
All right, Hoss.
I hear that.
Fire.